Hi, it's John Terry, the Black Belt Leader, and welcome to another Black Belt Leadership Master Your Life podcast. Today, I want to talk about the pursuit of world-class status, how to get to number one, and how to stay there. Let me start with a question. What do these individuals have in common? Rafael Nadal, Dustin Johnson, Lionel Messi, and Bruce Lee. Every one of these individuals was ranked number one in the world in their particular sport. And I'm sure there's a number of names that you and I both could add to this list, but each and every one of these individuals have mastered their unique craft. They are truly black belts in terms of what they do, whether it's tennis or golf or soccer or the martial arts. These are individuals that stand out in the crowd because they have literally achieved world-class status. Indeed, they have mastered their craft. Now, they have mastered the physical aspects, the strength, the stamina, the diet, the conditioning, the stretching, all of the other things that they need to do to master their physical conditioning. They have done so. They have also mastered their craft emotionally. Because in the heat of battle, whether you're playing tennis or playing golf, playing soccer, competing in the martial arts, whatever it is that you're doing, the ability to manage those emotions is so important to being able to perform at a world-class level. And that also goes to mastering your mindset, being able to remain focused and clear, being able to manage the stress that comes from competing at a very high level. All of those areas are an important aspect of mastering your craft. Now, when asked the secret to becoming world class, an interview was done among Olympic athletes and a number of world-class professionals. And I found it interesting that when they were asked the secret of becoming number one and staying that way, world-class athletes attributed their success not to their own talent or ability, but to the ability of their coaches and their trainers. They also gave credit to their parents, but they put a lot of stock in their ability to see success in putting themselves in the hands of quality coaches and trainers. Now, what do coaches do? Coaches are there to really bring out the best in their players. They hold those that they are training accountable to continually pursue excellence as a lifestyle. And they refuse to allow their clients to be content with the status quo. You know, in my own journey as a martial artist and a two-time Martial Arts Hall of Fame inductee, I've had a privilege of training with world-class instructors from literally multiple disciplines. My Jeet Kune Do instructor was a direct student of Bruce Lee. My Jiu-Jitsu instructor founded Shiho Karanaru Jiu-Jitsu, and I had an opportunity to train directly with the founding Soki of that system. My instructor was a direct descendant and a direct student of Iezo Shimabuku in Shorin-ryu. And my Krav Maga instructor trains directly with the Israeli IDF, having an opportunity to learn directly from the men and women that are utilizing that in combat. In the leadership world, one of my personal mentors is Dr. John C. Maxwell, and I have another group of individuals that I pay to consistently speak into my life every week and every month. Words of encouragement, words of affirmation, words of challenge, and an occasional kick in the butt when I need it, when I'm not doing what I need to be doing to see success. These coaches and mentors in my life will not let me stay at status quo, but they continually stretch my thinking, they stretch my abilities, and they stretch my vision to see bigger and broader. And because of that, I've had the opportunity to literally change the world through what I'm doing in the area of black belt leadership. You know, one of the things Dr. John talks about, and one of the things he reminds me and others that he mentors often, is the law of the lid. And the law of the lid is one of the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. And Dr. John says in that, your leadership ability determines your level of effectiveness. Now, think about that. Your leadership ability, or the lack thereof, is going to determine whether or not you are going to be able to compete at a world-class level in whatever it is that you do. If your goal is the pursuit of black belt excellence, as a black belt leader in life, you've got to be continually up-leveling your leadership ability to achieve the success that you want in life and continue to stay ahead of those that you're teaching. You know, a couple of things that come to mind when I think about this law of the lid, and the first is this: you can't teach what you don't know. Can you imagine trying to teach an Aikido class and you don't know Aikido? Someone asks you to teach them piano and you don't even know where you can find middle C on the keyboard. They ask you to teach them ballet and you don't even know how to put the slippers on. You can't teach what you don't know in any area of life. But by the same token, if you are leading as a leader, you can't take others where you don't know where to go. Can you imagine having to climb the side of a mountain and going with a guide that had never climbed the side of a mountain, had never done mountain climbing in his or her entire life? I don't know about you, but I don't think that's a journey I would want to go on. But how many of us are following leaders who are really fakers in disguise? The true leader shows up in their ability to lead and lead effectively. And that means you've got to be continually developing and growing yourself. And that comes best with a coach, a mentor, or a trainer that is ahead of you on the journey, that can pour into you, can stretch you, can mold you, and give you the opportunity to grow and see success. So when we really think about the world-class distinctive of top-level athletes, let me pose a question. How many top 10 golfers in the world have a professional coach? How many top 10 tennis professionals have a professional coach? How many top 10 soccer players have a professional coach? How many Olympic athletes work with a coach? These individuals understand that to get to world-class status and to stay there, they need a coach to get them where they can't go by themselves. So if golfers and tennis pros and soccer stars and Olympic athletes and other professionals understand the value of a coach and they hire coaches to help them achieve a greater level of success, why don't you? Why haven't you hired a coach to guide you on your journey to become a better leader, to become a better CEO, a better manager, a better pastor, a better musician? Whatever it is that you do, you need a coach to help you to get where you can't go by yourself. Now, why do world-class athletes have a coach? Well, number one, they want to be the best at what they do. And they know a coach is going to pull that out of them and hold them accountable. But secondly, they want to be the best at who they are. And they know that that coach and that mentor is not only going to work on their physical attributes and their emotional attributes and their physical attributes as well, but in addition to the physical and the emotional and the mental, they're also going to work on the interpersonal so that you can be the very best at who you are. And world-class athletes not only want to get to the top, they want to stay there. And they understand the only way they can continually perform at a world-class level is to continue to be working with a coach and a trainer that can hold them accountable to continuing the process of becoming a better version of themselves. Having the opportunity to hone those skills and make them better every single day is what it takes to really be a world-class performer. Now, even CEOs today have understood the power of coaching. CEOs, CMOs, CFOs, many C-level executives today are seeking out executive coaching, life coaching, or performance coaching to become better at what they do and who they are, because they realize life has changed. And if they want to remain top of their game, i.e. a world-class professional, they've got to have a coach or a series of coaches behind them guiding and directing their steps so that they can continue to up-level themselves. And as they up-level themselves, they're now able to lead at a higher level. Now, why would a CEO hire a coach? Well, there's a number of reasons. Maybe it's to hone their craft, or it's to strengthen their strengths, or to recognize their weaknesses, or to improve their mindset, or remove the blinders of limited thinking from their mind. Maybe it's to stretch their thinking in a particular area or get them seeing possibilities that maybe before they hadn't been able to see on their own. Maybe they're hiring a high-performance coach to improve their results. But CEOs know there's a number of valid reasons to hire a coach. And all of the great CEOs understand that what got them to where they are today is not going to get them where they want to be tomorrow. And they understand the value and the power of coaching. So my question is, what about you? If you want to achieve world-level status at whatever it is that you do, and you want to be world-class at whatever field you are pursuing in life, do you need a coach? Chances are you do. Because remember this, leadership starts with you. And until you can learn to lead yourself well and make good choices, you cannot model the behavior before others that will allow them to model what you are doing and experience success in their own lives. You can't lead others in an area you don't have experience. You can't take others on a journey when you don't know where you're going or how to get there. That's what a coach can do for you. A coach starts with teaching you to lead yourself, to be able to make those all-important quality choices that are going to help you experience a level of success that you never thought was possible, to remove the limited thinking from your mind, to help you stretch mentally, physically, emotionally, so that you have the opportunity to be able to up-level the results that you can bring to every endeavor that you put your hand to do. So why do you need a coach? Well, number one, for accountability. You need someone to hold you accountable to the process of becoming a better version of yourself. And if you don't have an accountability partner, someone to whom you can say, this is what I'm working on today, and that individual can give you feedback as to whether or not those activities are moving you forward in your goal of leading in a particular area in your life. You don't have an accountability partner. I have an accountability partner that I meet with every day, Monday through Friday, 10 to 15 minutes on a video or a phone call, where we talk about 3 things that we are working on each day to move ourselves forward. He's sharpening my axe and I'm sharpening his axe. And together we are holding each other accountable to the process and to the results. The second reason you need a coach is for your own personal growth and development. Coaches are there to help you become a better version of who you are. You want to hire a coach that has experience in areas in which you want to grow, that you want to glean from. And the opportunity to work with a coach is to glean the selective knowledge from that individual and the individuals that are coaching the coach that you have hired. Now, the third reason you need a coach is for commitment. You need someone that's going to keep you going even when it gets difficult or you get distracted or you want to say, this is not just fun anymore. Well, leadership is not always fun, but to be able to perform at a world-class level, you've got to be willing to follow through with your commitments to daily become a better version of yourself, to continue on that lifelong process of growing to become a better leader so that you can lead those that are following you more effectively every single day. You know, I think one of the best examples of that in thinking of this area of accountability, personal growth, and commitment is Twyla Tharp. She was one of the greatest choreographers in history and perhaps one of the best dancers to ever live. You know, I think about what was said about her and the power of coaching. Let me share a quote with you. One of the greatest choreographers in history is Twyla Tharp, one of the greatest dancers to ever live. She's had the same personal trainer for 27 years. Now, why she had the same trainer for 27 years? This trainer is not teaching her anything new. Get that. This trainer is not teaching her anything new, but this trainer is making sure she does what she knows she's supposed to do. That's why she looks so good in her 70s. You know, management expert Peter Drucker said our mission in life is to make a positive difference, not to prove we're smart and not to prove we're right. Now, think about that. Our mission in life is to make a positive difference, not because we're smart, not to prove we're smart, not to prove we're right. He goes on to say the only way you make a positive difference is to lead yourself well. I love the way Dr. John C. Maxwell puts it, and he says, people do what people see. Our mission in life, according to Peter Drucker, is to make a positive difference, because as people are watching us lead ourselves, we are modeling the example of excellence that we want them to follow. And that's what black belt leaders do. They model black belt excellence so the students that are watching and learning can do the same. You know, I recently had an opportunity to hear Dr. John Maxwell speak, and he made a statement that really struck me at the heart. He said, as he looks at the global landscape today, he sees a leadership deficit. In fact, Dr. John says, today he is leadership sad when he looks at the state of leadership in the world around us. And as I've traveled the globe, I have to say the same. I see leaders not leading, or at least not leading in the way good leaders should be leading. Good leaders have great values, and they model those values towards the people that they are leading. They value the people that they are leading. They show value to them, and they add value to them at every opportunity. Coaches help leaders do this and do this well. So if there's a global leadership deficit in the world around us today, my question is, who's going to get in the ring, who's going to put on the gloves, and who is going to fight the good fight to be an effective leader that is going to bring about positive change in the world and be the positive difference maker that Peter Drucker talked about? If people do what people see, who is going to step up and model the behaviors that are going to bring about positive change and make a positive difference in the world around us? That has to be you, and that has to be me. So here's a challenge in this week's podcast. Will you say yes to the call to fill the leadership gap, to make a difference for such a time as this? Let me ask you one other question. If you could influence others to become a positive catalyst for change in your community, what could be a better legacy than that? One of the best ways to accomplish that is to lead yourself well and make good choices and model that behavior for others. And what's one of the best ways to make sure that you're doing that? It's to have a coach, a mentor, a trainer that is going to hold you accountable, that is going to be continually helping you grow and mature and stretch and improve to become a better version of yourself, and to keep you committed to the process, even when times are tough, even when you're distracted, and even when it doesn't seem like fun. You need a coach, you need a trainer, and if you want to rise to the level and fill the gap of world-class leaders, values-based, people-focused servant leaders that are making a difference in the world, there is plenty of room for you to rise to the occasion, to earn your gold medal, to earn your black belt as a leader, and make a difference in such a time as this. I'm John Terry, the Black Belt Leader. Thanks for joining me for this podcast. Let me remind you, you can learn more about Black Belt leadership and the tools and resources we bring to the table by visiting us at beablackbeltleader.com. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe to our weekly leadership lessons delivered directly to your inbox every single week. An opportunity for you to have fresh content to share with those you're leading, to start some interesting and incredible conversations about leadership and influence that will make a positive difference in the lives of those you're leading. And while you're there, don't forget to pick up a copy of my #1 new release on Amazon, Black Belt Leadership 101. You will find this to be a phenomenal book that will help you in your own personal leadership journey, the 10 qualities of a Black Belt leader and how to live those out in your daily life. This book includes a discussion guide where you can actually lead a mastermind group with the team that you're leading and instilling these same Black Belt leadership qualities in their lives. Hey, again, John Terry, the Black Belt Leader. Thanks for joining me for this particular episode of Black Belt Leadership, the Master Your Life podcast. Thanks for joining me, and have a great day.